Nicole O'Neill once said, when you find the courage to use your voice, it has the power to positively inspire and change the lives of others. It is one of the special gifts you have to offer the world. It is something to be cherished and championed, never hidden. And that is why we are here on Your Voice, Your Impact. I am the energetic EJ. I am a life and transformational coach, and I work with women aged 40 and above to turn their abandoned dreams into achievable goals by activating their voice for impact. I'm also a podcaster and an event host. On this show with me is
Great, so amazing. The goal of this show is to help people use their voices to create impact. I am a physicist and a life coach. What I do for my clients is I help them with systems to achieve their goals whilst having fun doing it. On this show, we discuss topical issues that can inspire you to move. Like, subscribe, and share. Welcome aboard.
Invite you to join the 30 days Hone Your Voice challenge. This is a challenge I put together sometime last year and it was fantastic. So I am bringing it back because I know that you need to hone your voice and I want to help you. So for 30 days straight, we're going to be showing up, honing our voices, but also being consistent with putting out content. So if you want to build confidence, you want to show up and you want to hone your voice, this challenge is for you. All you need to do is click on the link attached to this video and sign up for it. Yes, with just $2.99, you are in. All right. So please do not waste time. Join me and other amazing people for us together to hone our voices. See you. Right? See you. Bye. All right. Good evening. Well, good evening. Yes. Today we're going live in the evening, and so I hope that you're well, and I hope that your day is good. Your day has been well so far. Depending on where you're watching from. I mean, some part of the world now is probably still afternoon. Yeah, but on this side of the world, it's evening here. Is 7 p.m. past 7 p.m. And I know in Nigeria is also past 4 p.m. So good evening and welcome to Your Voice, Your Impact. We are super excited to have you here today. I'm just going to bring up Gracie because this week has been very, very hot. And we're super excited. Hello, Mama. How are you? Oh, no. Network should not be doing this to us. I can't see you, Gracie. So please check your network if you can hear me. Kindly check and probably come back soon. All right. So the network is misbehaving right now, but Gracie is going to join us soon. Are you here, Gracie? You are still okay, fantastic. I see you now. Can you hear me? Can you say something? Let's be sure we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. I think a call came in, and I didn't want the call to disrupt our conversation, so I just had to quickly attend to it. So I've put it on Do Not Disturb right about now, so we are good to go.
Awesome. Okay, so welcome. How are you feeling in this moment? I mean, our final double take session for the month of March. By this time next week, we will not have session on a Wednesday. I'm getting used to it. But anyways, how are you feeling?
Yeah. It's good and it is worth it. I must say it's actually worth it. You know, when we don't celebrate women enough. You know, they say we celebrate women too much. You know, but the truth is we don't celebrate women enough, especially the ones doing amazing things. So if we have to do this twice in a week, I'm happy.
Absolutely.
I'm happy, and because this is special, I'm sure we'll get back to our. I mean, it's not been easy. Let me not lie. Sometimes I'll be like, "Hey, this Wednesday one, but I'm happy we're doing it because I have this particular month has taught me a lot. This particular month has taught me a lot. Yeah.
Right. Anyways, it is what it is. We're excited, that we have the opportunity to celebrate these amazing women that has come on the show for the month of March. Just also, this is our own way of saying we are accelerating
lagging because
yes, I think it's lagging. But anyways, let's just manage our
Can
way
you hear
through.
me?
I can hear you, but it's lagging. So you just have to, when you say something, you have to probably pause like 5 seconds before you hear what I'm saying back. Oh my God. Okay. The network is misbehaving, but I'm sure Gracie will catch up with us as we go along. So we're saying that this is our own way this month to accelerate action by actually celebrating the women in our circle who are doing fantastic work in their own circle, regardless of how huge or how small the work that it is they're doing. The important thing is that they're doing something, based off of their skills, their experiences, and their knowledge. And I think it is worth celebrating. So we celebrate every woman who has showed up on the show this month, as well as the ones who are coming up to wrap up this month, but also just generally who are going to continue to show up on our show to be a part of this, to lend their voices, to share their voices, to make impacts. And tonight is not an exclusion, right? Because tonight we're hosting a very, very beautiful young woman with such a rich profile. You should go check her out online, right? And we tagged this one the happiest girl in the room because we're looking. I'm sure you might have asked yourself, like, okay, what is this about? The happiest girl in the room, who is she? And I'm hoping, I'm already excited that this room is going to switch up a little bit with a little, dust. A very happiness angel is coming on the show, and we're going to feel that happiness in a moment from now. I hope you're feeling it already. Now, this woman is a powerhouse in her own in our own space. She's a powerhouse. She's an award-winning corporate affairs professional, a dynamic corporate communication expert, a corporate compere, a creative writer, a published author with over 15 years of varied and extensive experience in strategic corporate communication. Now, look at somebody with such a rich, profile, and then life hits at some point, almost sending her back to like, how do we cope with this? But I'm glad that 6 years down the line, she's here, happy to share her story. And she said in her own words, just before we turn on the before we came live, she said she's excited that she's able to share her story to inspire other people. And what a way to turn your pain into purpose. Without further ado, please join me as I welcome up this virtual stage on Your Voice, Your Impact, our beautiful guest, Ayodele Alabi. So Ni is Aburo, but we're going to get a gist about that one as well. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, hi, hi. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How about you? How are you?
I am well. I am well. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you
being
so
on.
much for having me. Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
your
Uh,
for doing the work, because I know that it can't be easy, to walk through what it entails, to go through your experience at a very young age and be here 6 years later, now sharing from that place, but from a place of purpose. Because we've seen people who have been through the same thing, but the story is not the same. It's a difficult one, and you can't even, the painful part is you can't even, say that it's taking too long. You cannot invalidate their fear,
no,
their
no,
holding back, their
yeah,
brokenness. And
yeah.
so, we celebrate you that you were able to put in the work to be here 6 years after, what happened, to say, what, I've been through, I want to share, so that other people who are going through can be encouraged to go through confidently, or to know that they are not alone. So thank you so much for being here to share your
Thank
story.
you. Thank you for hyping me up so much. I'm very grateful.
Oh
See
my
what I
goodness,
did there?
Gracie,
I did
are
like
you
this
here?
flying ball on my head. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you. Gracie, I hope you can hear. I feel it's lagging, so I'm just trying to be sure. Just nod. Can you hear me? Gracie, nod
Hi,
your head if you can
Grace.
hear me. Oh, it's still lagging. It's still lagging. So it's gonna
Network.
take a while for her to hear, and then she'll probably nod afterwards. This network sometimes can be funny. Okay,
Sometimes, not even sometimes, all the
honestly,
time.
honestly,
Very
honestly,
unpredictable. Yeah,
I know. So, the happiest girl in the room. First of all,
it's
I
me.
like to go for the jugular. Okay, awesome. I like to go for the jugular. What was it when you first thought of publishing this book? What was it that inspired this title? Was it the first title that came to mind, or was it after a little bit of reviews? Let's start with that, and I'll come back to you introducing yourself again. I want to
Oh,
know.
see, when people ask me about that book title, if I say I can remember how it came about, I'll be lying. Seriously,
Wow.
I don't remember. I just know that it was the Holy Spirit. I know that, I started writing the book. I probably almost finished the book, and I still hadn't thought of what the title will be.
Mm,
So how it came about, and it became, I think it's the title of the last chapter in the book. And
wow.
so it was just, I was just inspired and like, okay, I think this should be the title of the book, especially because that is the message that I'm trying to pass across. Like, despite all the hurt, despite the pain, and despite the grief, I've come out of all of that as the happiest girl in the room. And so
Mm.
we should credit the Holy Spirit, not me.
Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you for that inspiration. Okay, let me bring you back now to the basics, right? If you were now, for example, this is your first time on this platform, our audience are meeting you for the first time, how would you introduce yourself to somebody?
I would say I'm the happiest girl in the room. But okay, seriously, my name is Ayodele Alabi. I know you can see Aburo in bracket. That's my maiden name. Yes, but you can call me anyone. It's fine. I am a mother of two beautiful children. Yes.
Oh.
And I think my purpose is to inspire people, is to inspire joy, is to make impact. I really try to leave people or situations or things better than I met them. And
Mm.
that's my purpose. And I try to bring that to life in everything that I do. I'm a corporate averse professional. I think you read my bio. So I work on. So what I do at work is I tell people I'm a makeup artist at work.
Oh, explain that.
It's just a simple way to describe what I do. I make my organizations, the organizations
Look
I work
good.
with, I make them look good to all stakeholders. So that's what I do. So the simple way I
Oh,
put it is that I'm my organization's makeup
makeup
artist.
artist. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah, and so it's all about creating impact, for our stakeholders, really, internal and external. How do I show up at work every day, inspiring my colleagues to deliver their best? And how do I represent my organization every day, making sure that we're saying for the value that we deliver to the country, to the economy, and to every audience, really. So that's what I do in my 9 to 5. And then I'm a writer. I like to write. I like to write songs, poetry. Um, Now you see, books. Yeah, so that's what I would really say if you ask me, who am I as a person? It's just someone that wants to create value, that wants to be remembered, for the impact that I made in this world.
I love it. I love it. And I love that you're not shying away from expressing your different face, or yeah, your different expression, right? Your different sphere of influence. You are a writer, you are a communication expert, you're a corporate makeup artist. I like that one.
Yes, so embracing
I
it
like
all.
that one. Like it makes it so relatable and very easy, right? And
Yeah.
kind of brings fun into it. And I
Mm-hmm,
think,
mm-hmm.
that's your creative part shining through in that way that you just coined it. And we
I'm
love, love,
blushing.
love it. Love it. Love it.
Oh,
Oh my
OMG.
goodness. Okay. So, I mean, you sound going through your bio, I would just imagine, that you had a very thriving career, like from the beginning, from when you were, I think you started with Global.com shortly, and then moved to
Unilever.
Unilever, and then before you ended up here with uh, the Nigerian Breweries. But on that journey, take us through your beginnings journey, right? I'm sure people heard 6 years in, and a lot of people are wondering, okay, what happened 6 years ago? In case for those who didn't read the introduction and the description of this particular episode, they might be wondering what happened 6 years ago. Just take us through a quick recap of your life before, what happened, and then we'll take it, from there to after.
Okay. So I'm always grateful. Yes, I've had a good career journey, but I'm always grateful for it. I don't take it for
Mm,
granted. So I always tell people I'm one of the lucky or the fortunate ones that because I studied communications, and so I think I've always known that I wanted to do communications. But I'm also fortunate to have done almost every bit of comms to know which one I want to do and which one I don't want to do. Yeah,
right.
so I've done video production, I've done TV, I've done. I think I've interned at a newspaper company at some point. I've done advertising. I think I served in an ad agency. Yeah, so I've been
Wow.
around and to experience all of that and to know, okay, this one is too stressful for me. I can't do this one. This one is too,
Love it.
yeah. So, and I call it a blessing to have that experience. And so at the time, 6 years ago, when the tragedy happened, I was working at Guinness Nigeria, Diageo at the time. I literally just got a job there before I spent some time at Unilever, about 6 years there. But when I then moved into Diageo, I was actually 6 months pregnant at that time.
Wow.
And it was at that time where you're not even looking to change a job and then you just get poached and then you get the job. And I only worked for about 3 months thereabouts before I had to go on mat leave. And so I
Right.
was on mat leave for another 3 months. Then I came back to work, and it was as I resumed from my maternity leave that my husband at that time passed. And so, yeah, so that's what happened 6 years ago that EJ was talking about at the beginning of the show. Yeah, so after he passed, of course, you can imagine the journey. So I
Were
went
you
through
at
a journey.
work when it happened? Were you at the office when you got the message, or was it at home?
I was at work when it happened, but I wasn't told at work. So
Oh, wow.
I guess will I say that's a good thing? So I wasn't told at work. I was told it was when I got home. So I still went through the day like normal, not knowing that my life had changed.
Oh,
And so it
no.
was when I got home that I then heard the news.
Hmm. Hmm. Wow. And then how were you when you did, how did this affect you, especially as a woman? So as a woman, we have a lot of things that throw us off
Hmm.
balance. When you first got pregnant, especially your first pregnancy, at least this is your second. So it's almost like,
Yeah.
okay, you have some experience before. You know? So first
Yeah.
time we get pregnant, it's always like, oh my God, my life can never remain the same again. My body cannot be the same.
Shout
Even
out to all women. We're
I
trying.
know, I know. Even from the marriage self, the first time
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
got married, like hey. So I'm now answering to somebody like from not my mommy and daddy, yeah. When you change jobs, that also, now you probably have a new boss to report to,
Mm-hmm.
a new
Mm-hmm.
whole, a
Knew
new
everything.
culture,
Yeah. Yeah.
like there is all these things. But this one, losing your husband, losing a loved one just few months after you gave birth, that's on another level because your
It
body is
is.
still recovering from
You're still
being a mom.
recovering from everything,
Do you
mentally,
understand?
emotionally, physically. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
that happened. What was the first thing that came to mind when you got the news? How did you take it in? Like how did you react to it or
I
respond to
think I
it?
went into shock, EJ, if I'm
Mm,
being honest with you. I think it was more of shock. So for a long time, I think I was struggling to accept that it was true. So I had my moment of madness, as I will call it, because I remember trying to reach out to different men of God. I grew up attending Living Faith Church, that's Winners Chapel, And then at the time we were attending Daystar. So I
Mm.
remember, trying to, oh please, who has Papa's number? I have to call him. Oh my God, they have to pray him back to life.
Back to
I tried to
life.
reach Mr. DMA at the same time. I went on social media, Twitter, Instagram, even on the church's website, trying to drop messages. Please, I know that if you pray, will come back. That's why I call it
Oh,
moments of madness, because it must have been, my people must have been looking at me like, okay, is she okay?
is
But
she
they
okay?
let me they let me do what I had to do at that time. So I would say, yeah, shock certainly, and then from shock, it just went into spiraled into all sorts of emotions. Yeah, all sorts,
Hmm.
pain, grief, guilt. Yeah, all sorts.
Right.
Yeah.
And how were you able to come out of that experience? Like, at what point did you come to that point of acceptance? Like you said, the period of grief goes through all denial.
Mhm.
First of all, like, no, this did not happen. No, he's not gone. I know now. That's not the agreement we had. It can't
I
be
know,
possible.
right? You're denying, you're forgetting. You're saying, no, 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 no. You know what we
Like,
agreed.
no, 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 no. You don't play. You're
Yeah.
playing with me, right? And by the way, I need to just say this right now. The fact that you can smile about it, honestly, like I'm giving you a warm hug.
It's God, oh, it's God.
Honestly, I
It's God, it's
am.
God.
And just
Thank
the
you.
sheer fact that you got to this point where it's almost like you rebranded yourself to say, I am the happiest girl in the room. And it feels like an affirmation. So that
Mm-hmm,
when you are even on the days you are down, people are like, happiest girl in the
mm-hmm,
room. What's
mm-hmm.
going on?
You know, now the pressure, you always have to be happy because you have to live up to that name. But
Right.
yes,
So I am
yeah, as
grateful
you
for
said.
that. But I know
Mm-hmm.
you've been through all that different emotion, denial, anger, getting angry with God, like, I've served you all these years. Is this how you pay me back? Like, is this the
Mm-hmm.
agreement we
Mm-hmm.
had?
Mm-hmm.
What about all the
Mm-hmm.
promises? What's going on? To then, accepting. At what point how long did it take you from when it happened to when you finally accepted that this is reality?
See, yeah. Um, maybe, maybe quite recently, if I'm being honest.
Mm,
Maybe it was even now that that now that I'm reading the book. Maybe because I know for the longest time I would be pinching myself to be like, okay, am I not going to wake up from this dream? Is this not a dream? When am I going to wake up? Yeah, so
mm,
I can't really say this was the time that the acceptance came, but I know that it was tough. The entire experience was tough. Which I wrote about some of the pain that I went through in the book, but
right.
just trying to live again, trying to, especially because two little ones were depending on me because they don't know anything has happened at that time. My son was 2, and my daughter was about 4 months plus when that happened. So I know that I was still breastfeeding at the time, but she had to just transition into solids because even me, I wasn't myself, so I
Not
couldn't continue with
yourself.
all of that. Yeah.
Mm,
So then, but the entire experience, it had to be, it was done intentionally, if I would say that. For the longest time, I had this rock. I don't know how else to describe it, but I had something that felt like a big sack of rock that was just resting on my chest, so I could barely breathe.
mm,
It was really tough. Like I was just barely making it, barely existing, struggling to make it through life. And I would be thinking to myself, okay, this has to be a dream. I'm going to wake up one day. I'm going to wake up
mm.
one day. So I know that my
Wow.
organization that I worked with at the time, Diageo, Guinness Nigeria, they really did a lot for me in terms of support.
Mm.
My boss, shout out to Viola Graham Douglas, she was my boss at the time, and she was
Oh, I'm
really
happy
like a
it's a
big,
woman. God bless
yeah,
her.
woman. She was amazing. She is amazing. She's like my big sister now, even though I don't work with her anymore.
Oh,
Like we have a solid, big sister
relationship.
relationship. Yes.
Love it.
So she was there for me. She made sure that I had all the support that I needed. I can't even begin to describe how they supported me. That's why they sent a great grief counselor to my house.
Wow.
yeah, like therapist, but that was the first time, and the sessions, it didn't make sense at that time. I struggled to
Mm,
open up to the person. I was just mute, I was just silent. And so we moved along. I think what Viola did that was really helpful was to get me back into functioning my normal routine, my everyday life. You
mm,
understand? So she pulled me back to work, even if it was just to show up at work and not do anything. It's better than sitting at home
right,
and swallowing in the
right,
depression. So
right.
I know that just getting into that normal way of work life, your
Whoa.
normal routine,
Mm,
I think it helped me. And although it put me in something that, because I then had to do therapy again later on, after a few, I think after 2 years,
mm.
because I started suffering what they had called high functioning grief, where I didn't properly grieve
Wow.
because I just threw everything
You
into
just need
like
to work.
work and forgot, try to forget that I was supposed to be, processing some emotions. Yeah,
Mm,
but thank God it worked out the way it did. When I eventually got, I think what made me now go to therapy the second time was I started to have panic attacks, anxiety
mm.
attacks, and daytime trances. Like I would just see myself in a room of people crying, people
Oh,
mourning, and
wow.
I was just off my game at work, and my boss had
Right.
noticed. And that was when I then went to therapy second time, and this time around it was successful. The doctor was able to get through to me, and
Oh,
yeah, and I think that's when the journey really started. My
got it.
journey towards healing and
Mm,
towards the acceptance, and yeah, so
right.
acceptance and healing. Yeah, and it was
Mm,
every step of the way a conscious effort, consciously.
mm.
Yeah.
Wow. I can see even the comment section. I think some of your people who know you are here and they're just saying
Oh,
you're such a strong woman. And I just want you to know that there are people rooting for you and
oh,
genuinely being
glory
inspired
kisses.
by your story. Yes. I think Faremi says Ayo is a strong woman. Ayo is so strong. I love that. And Power Lady
Thank
says she's
you.
a beautiful soul, very strong woman. So I needed to know that there are people actually, looking at you and feeling inspired truly. So you are on the path, like you said, to inspiring people just simply by sharing your story. And it's for me, this is so important and so touching for me because when we talk about sharing your story, people automatically think it's about sharing your success story. But no, your story is your story, whether
Mm-hmm,
it's successful, whether it's
mm-hmm,
pain, whether
mm-hmm,
it's failure, whether
mm-hmm.
it's confusion, your story is your story. And as
I agree.
long as you've gotten to a point where you can look back in hindsight and say, this was so painful, but I'm grateful because things went this way, because it
Yeah,
was on this journey that I discovered this, this, and this, then that is a
yeah.
story worth sharing.
Mm-hmm,
Because when you start to share it from a place of healing, even if you're still on your journey of healing,
mm-hmm.
right? But being able to capture that this helped me and I think it can help you, that is a story that is worth sharing. So thank you for being courageous enough to share.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I know that it's also for anybody who's watching and maybe wondering what to share or what not to share. I know that it can be a bit difficult to make that step, because I know that I also have that moment. Even when I was writing, as I was writing, I was just writing and wondering, this one, I will just write it and keep it in
Can
my
keep.
in one file somewhere, because I just, it was a big hurdle to cross, because opening yourself up that way, being vulnerable in that way, and know that it's not easy. I kept
Right,
wondering, oh, because I hate labels, and I don't want somebody to label me, oh, widow, or that, 'cause it's such a negative word. I'm sorry. It
right.
is what it is. You
Mm,
get, and it's
mm,
what the
mm,
dictionary says I am. But I just saw it as such a negative word, and I just didn't want to validate it by putting out putting out that story. But
mm.
sometimes we have to realize that the things that we go through and the things that happens in our lives is beyond us. It's
Right.
beyond you as a person.
Mm,
It's when God wants to do something through you, it's beyond you. And so I think I got to that point where I realized that, you know what, it's no longer about me. It's about that
Mm.
one person that's going to read this book and will be able to, be blessed by it, or it's going to change that person's life. And so I just had to pack all my I just had to pack that one
Oh,
to
you're
one side. Like, you
feeling us.
just get over yourself. Oh please, it's all about you. And then just do what I had to do. Yes.
Oh my goodness. I was having a conversation earlier today with one of my best friends, my closest friends, and we were talking about this thing you said now, how you know that there is something that you need to do and you're actually working on it, but there's that constant question that comes like, hey, what if and you know what we concluded by the time we ended our call today is like, you know what, babe, let's go and we use Yoruba to say this way. So why are you afraid? Okay, that thing you're afraid of, go and do it. Go there, tembe. Like
Exactly.
that's how we came to a
Exactly.
conclusion. Lọ ṣe kò tẹ́, kò tiẹ̀ tẹ́. Tó bá dẹ̀ ti tẹ́ tán wàá padà wọ́n pé and I tried, but
Yeah,
it
you
tẹ́.
get.
Let me let me explain to
Exactly.
my non-Yoruba speakers. It's like go and do that thing that you're so afraid of and fail at it. That's the worst case scenario.
That's
And
the
that's
worst
what
thing.
you're most afraid of, right?
Mhm.
So go ahead and fail. The way you fail, you can fail forward. You cannot tell yourself, I tried this and it failed. What next? And you move on. If people laugh at you, they will forget very soon. But at
Very
least you've tried it.
soon. We have very short memories
You
in this
can move
family.
on.
We'll move on.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Grace T, are you back now? Please, this
Grace,
network wants
Grace.
to. Grace, are you back? Can you hear us?
Can you hear
Oh
me?
my.
Like,
Yes, we
you
can hear
know,
you.
Yes.
the internet, if the internet was a human being, I would so smack it right now. Like, but it's very clear that it's the location. It's my
Right,
location. It has
right.
nothing to do with the internet. It's my location. You can tell that I'm not in my regular space. I'm not in
Yes,
the
yes,
office
yes,
today.
yes,
So
yes, yes, yes. But at
I
least we
didn't do
can
my
hear you now.
I
Yeah,
just
we can
I
hear
should have
you.
done my okay, okay. I can hear people. I've been dying to ask you my own I've been dying to ask you questions, but Abby just said something. Ayo is one of the strongest persons I know, an amazing lady, and I'm saying to myself, so when people say strong,
I know.
No network. Oh, she just froze again.
Uh-oh.
Ah,
okay,
guys, please just bear with us today.
okay, can you hear me
Gracie.
now?
Okay, you're back. We can hear
I'm
you now.
very
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, this is really
Go ahead. Go ahead.
frustrating,
We
and
can hear
I
you.
really want to be a part of this conversation.
Go ahead. Go
Because
ahead. We
We
can
can
hear
hear
you. We
you,
can
because
hear
Grace.
I'll
you.
be so
We can hear
jealous.
you.
Okay,
We
okay,
can hear
okay,
you.
okay, okay, okay. All right, yes. So how do you deal with, having to be strong, especially for your so you're very good at what you do when it comes to work.
Oh, you're
We
frozen
lost
again,
you again.
Gracie.
No.
I know. I trust Grace. Gracie, this
You
is
hear me?
paining
I
Grace.
don't know.
It's
This is
paining me too.
really
Okay, Grace, can you do
it's
something? Are you
paining
able to
me.
turn off
But
your
pretty
video?
much
Let's see if it will help. I
the
don't
question
know.
I'm
I don't
I'm
know.
trying to ask,
Hmm.
the question I'm trying to ask is, are there days you just be like, see, Ayo doesn't want to be strong, and if there are days like that, what do you do? When you get this, like, because you have to, do what you have to do to be able to keep going and all. So days when you're not really strong, really, like, look, because we get to such days when we're tired, we don't want to be strong at that moment. So what do you do when you find yourself in, when it comes to work, when it comes to family, when it comes to, showing up? Did you get my
Thank you,
question?
Grace. Yes, I did. I did. Eventually, I did. Yes. And
Yes,
thank you for
yes, we
that
got it.
question because You know what? In this way, this is one of the ways that you don't want to hear, oh, you're so strong. So when people say, oh, Ayo, you're so strong, you're so resilient, I'm like, because this those words just come like with suffer head. It almost means like, oh, you know how to endure
Yes, I
hardness and sufferings. But yeah, thank God for strength. And if I did, has there ever been days where I've been like, oh, I'm not, a lot of times, like so many times that I'm not strong. I'm not always strong. I'm not always strong. I think I lean a lot on the support that I have from my family and my friends. So everything that I've done in this 6 year journey, I didn't do it by myself. I did it with the support of the people around me. Shout out to my mom. Yeah, my mom literally dropped everything she was doing to compete with
Aburo.
me, um, and play grandma to my kids. And so shout out to my siblings, my friends. At some point, people were taking turns to sleep over at my house, at the point when it happened. So, and then even through the years, I can't say that I've done it by myself, because who am I? Sometimes I even sit down like, how do I have this figured out? How am I mothering two children? So I definitely know that it's not me, it's the support that I have, with my friends. So if anyone is going through a tough time, it's so important that you create that supportive environment around you, um, so that they can help you when you can't help yourself. So yes,
Mm.
if I'm not strong, grandma, oh yeah, I'll take your children and go and play with them in your room. I just need my time. I need some alone time. Or I just want to be myself. Some of my friends would even take my kids and say, okay, let them come over for the weekend. Like, you can have your space. Yeah, so I'm blessed with the best people around me. Thank
God
you.
bless them. God bless
God bless
them. God bless
you.
them. Yes. Gracie, do you have a follow-up question there? I think the network is breaking again, but let's see. Okay, I think you're back. Yes, yes, yes. Are you back? Can you hear us?
Thank you so much. And I'm just going to, yes, I can hear you. I'm just going to rush through my questions. And okay, so let's talk about
Oh no.
Let's talk
Okay,
about.
it's gone again. Let's talk about love, baby.
I know, I don't know what the song. That sounded like that. I knew it.
Okay, she's back. She's back. Okay, let's
see, I
talk
will not
about
spank this. So I'll ask this question
Belle.
very quickly. Ayo is one intelligent, a first class brain. So let's shift. Let's go back to the brain, the girl. Ayo is one intelligent person that I know, very, very intelligent. And I want to ask you, oh, Father,
We can hear you. Please go on.
what's this?
We can hear
Okay,
you.
so I'm just wondering why.
We can hear you. Can you still hear?
Oh, okay. So
Oh,
if
we
you
can
can
still.
hear me, something just popped up. All right. So the question now is, as a
Oh, now it's gone.
somebody
Now it's
that is doing
okay.
very well in the corporate world, how can you speak to people that are, thinking they want to get into that field, they want to be able to get back into, or some people they have the desire to go into the corporate world, but they are afraid that they might get too busy and may not be able to.
May not be able to. Hello, Gracie. We lost your audio again.
I'm trying to see if I got her question.
Yes, yes. She did quite
Oh my
land. I didn't.
goodness.
Hmm.
Okay, we can hear you now. Okay, so you know what, Grace? What we can do, right? If
All
the
right.
network is doing something, so you can
So
also
pretty
type
much.
the question. Just if the network, so you can type it, so we can still put it up, and she can keep answering. if the network is going back and forth,
Okay,
but we can hear you
good.
now.
I think I should just even leave because this is becoming really distracting.
Oh, it's gone again. It's gone again. Okay.
But I think I was trying to get her question around maybe
Yeah,
somebody
I
wants
think I
to.
think yes, I think it's I'm not sure where it's landing. Okay, are you back? Grace, can you hear now? Can you land that question so that at least Ayo can, oh no. This network is just, it's just adamant today. Like, no, 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 I'm gonna show you Shege. But anyways,
Oh,
so I think what she's trying to say is, as a corporate person, there are people who are probably gone through whatever phase in life, that maybe they're trying to get into the corporate world, but they are afraid of doing that because of the work that comes with it. What would your word be for them, or how can you help them go past that initial fear of getting back into, or getting into the corporate world? I hope that's where she's leading, but I'm sure she'll type the question again.
okay. The thing about fear is you have to replace fear with something. You have to swap fear with knowledge. So whatever it is, whatever space that you want to get into, the only thing that can replace fear is knowledge. So because once you're knowledgeable about something, then the fear just goes out the window. And I
Definitely.
think that it's also important when you're starting off something, it's important to pace yourself. It's
Mm,
important not to put so much pressure on
on
yourself.
yourself. Mm,
Start small, start where you are. If you want to come into the corporate world, um, there are so many platforms right now that can enable you in one way or another. Look at LinkedIn, for example. So
mm,
many connections are being built on LinkedIn every day. So many networking opportunities on LinkedIn every day. All you need to do is show up. There's something about putting in the work. The truth is, adulting is all about putting in the work.
can say
Nobody's
that
going to do that
again.
for you. Nobody's going to put in the work for you. So if you desire something, if you truly want something, first you need to know that you're going to have to put in the work, and then you need
Mm,
to gain knowledge, because a lot of times when we're afraid of something, it's mostly because we don't know that much about something. So just, you know, gain knowledge in that field you think you want to go in, and then show up for networking, show up for partnerships, for collaboration. If you have to do some internship or even unpaid internship just to get experience, that sort of thing.
mm,
And these
right.
days, life is a bit simpler because we now do some work remotely that you
Mm,
don't even have to, show up in an office to be working. So you can start like that. You can start, try to find a remote job somewhere, because they exist now and there are a lot of them. And that way you pace yourself into it.
mm,
And then eventually, when you know that, okay, you've done it to an extent that you're ready to, in a mortar and glass kind of place, then you can then
right.
you get into that.
You
But
can grow
that's
into
what I
it.
would say. I would say show up, put in the work, and gain knowledge,
Mm,
and you'll be fine. And of course, pray about
mm.
everything. Yes.
Absolutely. On the flip side of that is, as you were speaking, I can just see my head flashing. There are people who have also paid their dues in some areas. Like, so they're in the industry, but they are looking at either pivoting or scaling or going a notch higher, like the next level in their careers. But this fear comes back and it holds them back. So, for example, they've made they. So let's say, for example, somebody who has a corporate journey like you have,
Mm-hmm.
and they're now
Mm-hmm.
trying to shift into, let's say, entrepreneurship or business, or
Mm-hmm.
they're looking at, okay, how can I, build legacy from all the experience that I've had?
Mm-hmm.
They know head knowledge. Okay, I could actually share my knowledge with maybe people that are coming into the industry, or just generally, and see people who, but there's just that fear holding them down from speaking, from sharing the knowledge they have. And most times we call it the imposter syndrome. How would you
Mm-hmm.
speak to that for somebody who is actually qualified to share, but just cannot bring themselves to that place of sharing?
Okay. For this one, imposter syndrome is something that we've all dealt with at some point or another in our careers. Because the truth is, no matter how good they say you are, sometimes you feel you're never good enough. And so I
Absolutely.
think that the first thing to solve a problem is even acknowledging that the problem is there. So once you
Mm,
know that, okay, I have this fear, I think it's good to acknowledge that fear, and then it's also good to be a bit specific about, what is it that you're afraid of? Is it that you're afraid of, opening your mouth and nothing comes out, or you're afraid that people are going to laugh at you, or you're afraid, you need to identify what is foiling that fear. And then once you can
mm,
do that, then you can address it. So if it's about people laughing at you, then you need to start practicing with your friends, people that you're familiar with, your friends, your family. Get them anytime you have a get together or people just visit you. Your friends are there to support you, your family is there to support you in every way with every of your goals. So you should be able to
mm,
communicate to them that, oh, I'm thinking of doing this, and I think I have these fears, but I'm thinking that
mm,
if I can speak to you guys, maybe I'll get over it. And then you can start like that. And then once you have that, you also then need to reframe your mindset. You need to reframe your mindset so that you can see that fear that you have as an opportunity for growth and an opportunity for
mm,
learning, so that you can turn that around. So it's not longer, or I have this huge fear of something. It's just that, okay, I need to get from point A to point B, and
mm,
in that point, in between point A and point B, there's just this obstacle that I need to cross. And so
mm,
I need to look at that obstacle as a learning opportunity for growth. I want to
mm,
grow, so I need to figure out how to get from A to B so I can grow. So
mm,
once you have that growth mindset, then you can, and then I'm always for reaching out for support if you need it. And so get support from the people that would help you. Surround yourself with people, with positive people, people that will cheer you on, and not people that would say, oh no, that's not for you, I'm sure you can't do that. No, people that will cheer you on. And then and also, I think I spoke about this initially, about pacing yourself as
mm,
well. So it's good to always step out of your comfort zone, but it's good to do it gradually.
mm.
Especially if you're someone that has fears, it's good to do
Right.
it gradually. Yeah. So take calculated risk. Oh, I want to start speaking. How about you speak first in your family functions, and then you speak first? You get, so that even if you fall flat on your face, you
It's
know that
okay.
it's
Your
okay.
peeps.
It's okay. These are my people. So take this sort of calculated risk,
No, this network. No, you can't do that network. Okay.
speak presentation classes, public speaking classes. If it's really something that you want to do, then you have to put in the work, as I always say. So you need to go and take those classes. Yeah, and focus on your strengths. See,
Mm,
the devil has a way of amplifying our weaknesses, especially when we want to do something novel or something, and then we just get in our heads and stuff. So if you constantly remind yourself, or I am this, I am that girl, I'm that girl that did this, that, like, nothing is too hard for me. So if you focus on your
mm,
strength, and then seek support, and then you change your mindset and get into this growth mindset where every fear is just a learning opportunity, every fear is just an opportunity for me to grow, and then you start that
absolutely.
way. I
I
think
love
that
it.
will help. I
I
hope I
love it.
answered
I
the
love it.
question.
I
Thank
love it.
you.
Oh, Godesh is saying hi from Instagram. She's saying,
Hi,
Adela, well done,
Auntie.
girl.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. So, like, there's a question that is ringing in my head for the past at least maybe 15 minutes, and you just mentioned something about it that brought it back to mind, which is around the support you talked about now, like having support systems. But then initially, you said your boss at the beginning of the experience you had actually gave you an opportunity to get support with therapy, but you couldn't accept it.
Yeah, it
What
didn't
was
work.
it that shifted for you the second time that made it work? And I ask this question because I've interacted with people who clearly need help. They are aware they need help. They want to get help. For some reason, they cannot accept it. Can you hear me?
I
Did it
lost you
go
for a
off for a
bit.
while? Okay. Am I
Yeah,
back
it went
now?
off. Well, yes, yes, it's back now.
Or did you catch the question?
No, I missed it. You went off
Okay. So I'm
sometime in the
saying that
middle.
there are people who know they need help. They realize they need help and they actually want it. But for some reason they can't accept it. For you, what was it that shifted that made you accept that help the second time when you went for therapy? Probably there's something there that could help somebody move past this struggle they are having with accepting help.
That's a very, very, very intense question. I'm trying to remember. Okay, what was it that shifted for me? So initially, I think maybe at the first time when I had a therapist come to me, I think it was too soon at that time. So even me, I'd not even had some time to process what I'd gone through or what I was going through. So I think that was the issue probably the first
Mm,
time. But the second time, I think it also had to do with me wanting to get better, me wanting to deal with whatever it is that is wrong with me. Recall I said that it's not like I just woke up and said, oh, okay, I need to get therapy now. I started having, panic
panic
attacks. I started having
attacks.
all sorts of real daytime trances and stuff. And yeah, so, and I even recall that even when I got connected with a therapist, even the first sessions, because the first sessions was still the same thing. So she had to now refer me to, a superior, like a senior doctor. And so she's like,
Mm,
oh, because I think I've had like 3 sessions with this doctor. And she's like, what? Not getting through to him. And I kept asking myself,
mm.
what is this one?
What
Ayo, what
is
is your problem? What is the color of this your problem? That you're gonna just open your mouth and talk. And you see, I know it's so funny because I think that's also the thing that I got to discover about myself. In that I can be a very friendly person, but I'm also very closed up. Like it's a
Mm,
struggle to open up to share and stuff. But I'm actually very friendly, so people would see me and say, "Oh, I got so many friends, I have so many friends." But in reality, how many of those friends know what
know
it is
you.
that's going with me? So, you get what I mean? So it
I
was
get it.
also a struggle, and so I was referred to the senior doctor, and then I knew that I wanted to get better. Really, I knew that I wanted to get. So I think that's the first thing, that if we
Mm,
want help, we need to be open-minded to receive that help. We need to be ready to do what we have to do to receive that help. Because the truth is, if I didn't go through therapy, if I didn't apply all the principles that I learned and the things that I needed to do to get out of the pain and the hurt and the grief, I could possibly be in the same place even years after, because I refused to do the job, because I refused to be helped. The people can offer you help. It's what you do with it that matters, really.
right.
So I think it's about you owning the things that you need to do. You need to just
Mm,
take ownership. I just keep saying adulting is your is you
is you
just
doing
putting
the
in
work?
and
Absolutely.
then visualizing yourself, visualizing your success,
Mm,
visualizing. I remember when the therapist told me, "Oh, you have this thing called high functioning grief, where you didn't process your emotions, you just put it somewhere, and then you're just going, and doing what you have to do to survive.
mm,
Meanwhile,
mm.
that emotion is waiting for you somewhere
It's
to come
waiting
and
for
pick
you.
you still there. Like when you are ready, you come back to me."
I'll come out.
So yeah, so I had to do what I had to do to get over the pain, because grief is a natural reaction. It's a reaction to the loss of a loved one. So you
Mm,
need to feel those emotions and you need to process it. And there's no
right.
running away from it
Away
or
from
pushing or
it.
shoving it away. And it made me
Mm,
understand that. And it then made me understand, oh, if you don't do that, it can actually get worse. And then
right.
some people mentally it can become a mental disorder where you're just trapped in your pain.
Mm.
And I think I heard that. I'm like, I beg,
Ah,
oh, it's not.
no.
I beg, no. And so I then, I broke my back. I'm going to do what I have to do to get out of
Mm,
this. and that's what I did. So I had focused on the
Love it.
present moment. Let me know what am I supposed to do, and then I was constantly visualizing. I can't wait to feel better because I wasn't
Mm,
myself. I can't wait to
mm,
feel better. As someone who doesn't like to fall ill, it was such a challenge for me to be constantly feeling like something was wrong with me. So I just
right.
always told myself, I can't wait to feel better. Whatever it is I have to do to feel better, let me do it. And so that's
Right.
visualizing my success, my goal, my what I needed to achieve maybe also helped me. So that's what I would say to that person, to say, you know what, find the help, but be open minded to receiving the help. And then when you do
Right.
receive it, do what you have to do
Have to
to
do.
make you right. Yeah.
I love it. I love, 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 love it. Thank you so much. As
Thank
we
you.
wrap up the session, I'm so pained that Gracie could not really engage
Grace,
because
I
of the network.
know.
I am so pained. But thank you so much for sharing. And I'll go back to the book, The Happiest Girl in the Room, right? Just walk us through key points in this book that should make anyone pick up a copy today to go read through your story. What should they expect if they pick up that book?
I think that even though, let me show you the book in case you don't know what it looks like. This is what it looks like.
Oh, the book is happy. Like even the cover page looks happy. I love the font.
Yes. Thank you. So if you pick up a copy of Happiest Girl in the Room, I always tell people my own loss or my own pain may have been, loss of a loved one, but everybody has experienced some type of pain, from losing something, from it might be the loss of a relationship, it might be a job, whatever it is. It's still the same principles that apply. And so if you ever feel you're in a space where you're just wondering, how do I get out of this funk that I am in? I think that's what the happiest girl in the room, the book, will help you do. It's really like a blueprint that teaches you the steps that you need to take. Owning what you have to do to constantly take that decision to be happy, constantly taking that decision to be joyful, because I always say happiness is an action word. You cannot keep waiting for things to happen to you to make you happy.
Mm,
EJ, you're not in Nigeria, but people in Nigeria with us, they know what I'm talking about.
I
The
feel
the
you.
things that are happening, if you continue to dwell in your experiences and the situations that are happening around you, you are constantly going to be in the place of pain and hurt and fear of
Mm,
some sort.
mm,
And
mm,
so Habits Girl in the Room is going to give you those principles that you need to apply on a day-to-day basis, and it's going to help you in terms of practicing, because the more you do something, the better you get at it.
I get at it.
So
Yeah.
it's going to help you do that so that you can overcome whatever hurt and whatever pain and whatever fear it is that you're going
That's
through.
so
So
true.
it'll teach you, and then it's also very relatable because you're reading my story. It happened to someone, and so I'm at least very vulnerable in the book, sharing my emotions at different points in time, so you can
Mm,
understand that, oh, I'm not alone in this, or this way I'm
yes.
feeling is normal. It's normal to feel this way, or it's okay to feel this way. And so
Right.
you can take your time, and with
Mm,
patience, with practice, you can actually get over the pain, the hurt, the fear, whatever it is that is holding you back, and become
right.
the best and happiest version of
Version
yourself.
of yourself. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank
How
you.
can people lay a hand on this book? How can they get a copy for themselves?
Okay, so if you want to purchase a copy, I think you can buy at River Heights Bookshop if you reside in Nigeria. We have at all River Heights Bookshop nationwide, so you can purchase physical copies there. It's also on seller.com. If you just go on
Okay.
seller and type my name, you'll find it. For everyone outside Nigeria, it's on Amazon UK, US, Canada, all the Amazons is there. Hard
Okay.
copy, yeah, and
And
paperback.
Kindle as well. Okay, paperback. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah. And also,
All
yeah,
right,
on Kindle as well. It's also on
as
Kindle. Yeah.
well. Okay, fantastic. So if you want to get a copy of the book, The Happiest Girl in the Room by Ayodele Alabi, please go ahead to seller.co on, I think seller.co on, oh, it's now .com.
It's
Yeah,
called yeah.
they actually said, oh, you are now .com. Okay, so you can go on seller.com to get an e-copy of it, or you can order on Roving Heights anywhere in Nigeria. And if you're outside of Nigeria, you can order it on Amazon. The title again is The Happiest Girl in the Room by Ayodele Alabi. This
Yeah.
tells or chronicles the story and the journey that this strong woman, I know that is not always like a strong narrative, but she came out strong and she's truly inspiring all of us out here. And we're just so grateful for the journey that she's been on. What else do you have coming up your sleeve? What should we look out for as we walk?
Hey. Come on. Stop it. Look out for the grace of God in my life. Well, on a serious note, I do have a podcast actually, so maybe that's another way that you can follow me and interact with me. So I started a podcast, I think last year on my birthday, and it's
When is
actually
your
an
birthday?
extension. June in June.
Oh, okay. So you'll be 1 year old soon.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, so you
Nice.
can check out my podcast. I try to post or update every 2 weeks,
Mm,
and yeah, so it's just an offshoot of the book where I speak about life experiences and how we can intentionally choose happiness and joy every day. Yes, so
nice.
started from just talking about my life and my book and everything, but now it's evolved into just
Working.
talking about real
Yeah.
life
It's a journey.
experiences.
Love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I
So
love it.
check me
I
out
love it.
on Apple Podcast, on Spotify. It's if you
And the
type in
podcast
Happiest
is
Girl in the
called?
Room, Happiest Girl in the Room, or the Happiest Diaries. Yes,
Okay.
just check me
So
out.
check out The Happiest Diary on your favorite podcast platform to
Yes.
listen into Ayodele's podcast. Okay. Grace is sharing another question quickly as we are getting. It says, what's your philosophy and what drives you?
Impact. That's what drives me. Impact.
My
It's my
sister. My
yes, so see now this shows impact. It's impact, and sometimes I think that we overthink everything and think, oh, for me to make impact, I need to be the president, or I need to be the governor, or I need to be one big
Mm,
person. But impact is really about how in your own space of influence. It's that simple, and that's it
mm,
for me. How can I make a positive impact in where I am, anywhere I am, with anything that I do? How can I leave that, positive imprint in your life so that you meet me and you're inspired to be better. You're inspired to be a better
mm,
version of yourself. Just by me existing and living and chasing my dreams and showing people that, you know what, everyone can do it, anyone can do this because I can do it. So it's really impact. That's what drives me. That's what makes me wake up every day. And also to just set a positive example, the right examples for the children that I have. Especially because now, right now, there's no daddy, so that constantly making sure that they see that they can do anything. They can do anything,
mm.
especially as women. I have a daughter, and I want her to see that, she can do anything she puts her mind to. So just setting that right example, to be a positive role model for my children is also very important to me, and it drives me because children, they follow what you do, not what you say.
Right. Know what you
Yeah, so they
say.
look at you, and then now my son has started writing 3 books every day, writing a different book, writing a different book.
I
So
love
it's
it.
just so amazing how they see you and they just want to copy you, and so that's also very very important to me. And then my father used to say something. God bless his soul. My dad is late as well. I think I mentioned it, some of the experiences in my book as well.
The book.
There's
Mm,
something my dad used to say that still stays with me till today. He says, a success without a successor is a failure. And so
mm.
that is so important in ensuring that everywhere I find
Passing
myself, I
on.
can replicate myself and even let the
Right.
person be a better version of myself. You get, because without that impact and without that value that you deliver or you bring into someone's life,
So,
really, what is it? What is it?
yeah, you just
What
end
is
with
it?
it.
Yeah.
Nah, we don't want that. We don't want
Oh,
that. Want to pass it on. Want to pay it
yeah.
forward. I love it, love it,
Pay
love it.
forward all the time. Yes.
Absolutely. You are so, yes, you're so beautiful to speak with. Are you open to give love another chance? Gracie.
Love it, love. Well. That's a very well, yes. Love is beautiful. Yes. So yes, um, I'm open to giving love another chance. As long as it's the love is right. I don't know if there's
Mm.
any wrong love, Shaba. I know.
There is. There is.
It has to be right. It has to be right. But yes,
Oh,
certainly, everyone deserves love, and everyone
absolutely.
deserves companionship. Yeah. So yeah,
I couldn't agree more. But thank you so much. Like Gracie said, thank you
thank
for using
you,
your voice, and for coming up here to share your story because you have rightly impacted us and you've spread some level of happiness on the show today, causing us to laugh, to smile, even when we're talking about something as heavy as grieving a loved one. And it just embodies, what you have decided to say, what, this is how I'm going to show up, regardless of my challenge, regardless of the pain, because, like you said, it never goes away just like that. There are days that it still hits you, and you're like, oh my God, I wish you were here right now. And those days would always come. And I feel like it might never go away completely, no matter, even when you find love again, once in a while, it still comes through. But you have chosen. You have taken a stand to say, as far as Ayodele is concerned, I am going to spread happiness. I am going to show people how to turn lemons into orange juice,
I know.
not just lemonade, and make
Oranges,
people
orange juice.
and make people
Yeah.
wonder how is she
How
doing
did
it?
you do it? And
You
that's why I'm
know,
sharing the recipe. This is the recipe. How I did it. Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. Go get your copy now. Go get your copy now. But thank you so much. It's been a fantastic time
Thank you,
talking with you
AJ.
and
So
having you or
grateful.
listening to you share your story. We wish you all the very best. Keep being the
Thank
amazing
you.
woman that you are. My love goes out to your kids. And, I was going to ask that, but you just went there straight. And I'm like, you see, the spirit is one. I love it that, you have
Thank you.
stepped up. And I think it really embodies what you were saying in all of the answers you've given. You've reiterated that you have to do the work, and this is what you are doing on your part, going for therapy, getting healing, continually evolving into the stronghold that can say, okay, I'm the mom and dad right now, I have these kids to be a model to, and I'm going to step into the shoes to do it, also embracing all the support systems around me.
Yeah.
And I just want
Yeah.
to appreciate you for that and celebrate you for that. I have a comment coming in here. Oh, Adela, the happiest girl in the room, thank you for sharing your thoughts. That's from
Thank
Olatunde
you. Thank you for
Obabure.
listening.
Thank you so much. Oh, I see that you have a very, very solid, following, and that speaks to influence, and we appreciate and celebrate you for that. Thank you for coming on the show to
Thank
amplify
you
your
for
voice for
having
impact.
me. I must say thank
Keep
you, and
being
thank you for using your
amazing.
platform for to give a voice to women like me. Very grateful. I pray that this is just the beginning. Who is Oprah near you? Come on, that's what I pray for you.
Grace, did you hear that? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We claim it. We claim it. We go and do the work and we go and get the results.
Yeah,
Thank
see
you
you at the
so
top.
much.
See.
That was so empowering. That was so
Thank
empowering.
you.
Thank you for just rubbing that in. Like, I love it. I love it. I'm using that one to capture it and envision it so that I can step into it. We
It's going to
can step into it. I'm
happen.
sure. Absolutely. Grace is in the building. Grace is like, Amen.
Yes, so grace. Amen.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I know this
Thank
has been a
you.
fantastic conversation, and I know
It
you're a
has
busy
been.
person, so would let you, release you to just, go back to your schedule of the day. Thank you for taking our time to come share here. We really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. Bye
Have
bye.
a good one. Bye bye. All right, guys. I really, really do hope that you've had a great time. Literally, she is the happiest girl in the room because she brought that happiness on board. And I hope that you're smiling just like I'm smiling. I'm so pained that Gracie is not here to share of the smile on stage. I know she's smiling wherever she is right now. You can see she's actually communicating in the comment section. But we're glad. Absolutely. I know, Gracie. I know. And yeah, I can see all this, Onolapo Obabumi says, that's my sister. Like, what else can you what else can you dream of when somebody's like, yes, that's my girl. I know her. She's my sister. She's my friend. This is what we want to do. This is what we want people to experience when you share your story. There are people out there who are waiting to hear your story because your story can make a difference in their life. So don't be shy. Don't overthink it. And guess what? On this platform, we just don't come here to put you or throw you under the bus. No, the systems we put in place is to get to meet you, to carry you, like we're in this together. We are here to help you amplify your voice, and we mean it. We want to help you do that. So whatever it takes to help you do that is what we bring to the table. So please reach out to us anytime if you have a story that you want to share, an experience, a knowledge, your business, your own story, whatever it is. As long as you know that there is a lesson tied to it that other people can benefit from, you are welcome and you are fit to be on this show. So please reach out and let us help you amplify your voice for impact. Remember, our driver here as well is impact, and we would love to hear your story on the platform. I am the energetic EJ, and of course, I have my co-host Grace. So amazing. The network where she is today did not allow her to stay on the show for the duration of the show, but we'll be back here next week, Monday, on another episode of Your Voice, Your Impact, wrapping up this month series of celebrating women of impact. On Monday, we're talking about raising the boy child. We're speaking with a parental coach who deals with raising teen boys, and she's doing an amazing work all the way from Uganda. So please come and be a part of the conversation if you are a boy mom, or you know somebody who has boy children or boy child, or you're hoping that your first baby will be a boy. Come, let's have a conversation together. All right. Again, have a fantastic evening. Enjoy the rest of your week. And yes, take care of yourself. And remember, yes, you watching me right now, you also have a voice. And that voice is meant to impact somebody. Please let us help you amplify it. God bless you. See you next week. Bye-bye. I am delighted and excited to invite you to join the 30 Days Hone Your Voice Challenge. This is a challenge I put together sometime last year, and it was fantastic. So I am bringing it back because I know that you need to hone your voice, and I want to help you. So for 30 days straight, we're going to be showing up, honing our voices, but also being consistent with putting out content. So if you want to build confidence, you want to show up, and you want to hone your voice, this challenge is for you. All you need to do is click on the link attached to this video and sign up for it. Yes, with just $2.99, you are in. All right. So please do not waste time. Join me and other amazing people for us together to hone our voices. See you. Right? See you. Bye.